So, good evening everyone. So, yesterday we finished about the topic Porifera phylum. That is one invertebrate phylum. So, lastly that is on the climax stage. So, we in a hurry stage regarding about the larval stages. So, amphibians, Amphiblastula, Parenchyma and Trichomella. So, these are the most important larval stages regarding sponges. So, one word I can clarify here about the larval forms, very important aspect regarding NEET, the larval forms of sponges. So, one larval form they can ask in your entrance examination from phylum Porifera to phylum Echinodermata. So, in sponges there are three larval forms are there because their development is indirect. If the development is direct, there are no intermediate stages, there are no larval stages. But in sponges, larval forms are there, that means the development is indirect. So, what are the three larval stages of sponges? So, one is Amphiblastula, one larval form Amphiblastula, and second one Parenchyma, and third one is just listen carefully, Trichomella. So, here I will give one word, just spell is different, the letter, one letter is different, that is Trichinella. Here it is Trichomella. One more invertebrate is there, that is Trichinella, but that belongs to nematode parasite, that is Trichinella. Don't confuse between these two. Here the larval form is Trichomella, but the nematode parasite is Trichinella. Just you observe the pronunciation of the words, two words. Here it is Trichomella, M, but the nematode parasite is Trichinella, N is there. So, these are the three important larval forms of sponges, right. So, one more important aspect regarding sponges, the power of regeneration, is well marked. The power of regeneration is well marked. The same word we are going to take in another two phyla. One is in the phylum Platyhelminthes. In Platyhelminthes phylum, one class is there, that is Turbellaria. They are commonly called planarians. In planarians also, because it is a comparative type of question, and the power of regeneration is well marked in echinoderms also. See, the power of regeneration is well marked in sponges, that is well in Turbellarians of Platyhelminthes group, and that is also well marked in echinoderms. So, power of regeneration, you remember forever, the power of regeneration in three areas. One is sponges, one is Turbellarians, and other one is echinoderms, right. So, these are the two important aspects regarding sponges. Then coming to examples. So, the examples of the members of the phylum Porifera. So, what are the examples? See, here this is the scientific name and here it is common name. So, you can ask scientific name by giving the common name. Also ask the scientific name by giving common name, and by common name they can ask the scientific name. Whatever it is vice versa. See, one example, Psychon, not Scython. Scython means a devil, evil, the Psychon, that is Scypha, Sycon, Scypha. Then Euplectella, Euplectella, Venus flower basket, Venus flower basket. Here it is a very important aspect about the Euplectella scientific name. It is commonly called Venus flower basket, and it's also called as, it is the wedding gift, wedding gift of Japan. So that word is very important for you. What is the wedding gift of Japan? Euplectella. It is commonly called as Venus flower basket. Then Spongilla. This is very important example regarding NEET, because it has one speciality. What type of speciality it is? See, this is the only freshwater sponge. It is commonly called as freshwater sponge. It belongs to the class Demospongia, phylum Porifera, and subkingdom Parazoa. The kingdom is absolutely Animalia. So that is Spongilla, freshwater sponge. Then one more is Euspongia, Euspongia, that is bath sponge, bath sponge. So these are the very important examples. In these, among the four, you remember Euspongia, bath sponge. That's number of times it was repeated in many examinations, entrance examinations. And also Spongilla, it is commonly called freshwater sponge. Euplectella, commonly called Venus flower basket, and it is also called as a wedding gift of Japan. So this is about the phylum Porifera. Now coming to the next phylum, the next invertebrate phylum. The next invertebrate phylum is the Nidaria. So what's our next topic today? That is Nidaria. So phylum Nidaria, phylum Nidaria. Yes, phylum Nidaria, it is the recent name, but previously the name Nidaria, that these animals, previously the name of the phylum is Coelenterata, Coelenterata. This is the previous name. The recent name was Nidaria. So recent name, that is Nidaria. So what is the characteristic feature of the phylum Coelenterata as well as Nidaria? So in what way they gave to the word that phylum Coelenterata, and also who gave the term? Yesterday we discussed phylum Porifera. Phylum Porifera is coined by, the term Porifera is coined by Robert E. Grant because of the presence of pores on their body wall. Two type of apertures. Same way, what is the reason to give this word to this phylum? See, I can clarify here. Coelenterata, Coelenterata. So Coelenterata, Coelenteron, the presence of Coelenteron cavity, the presence of Coelenteron cavity. Eta means to bear, eta means to bear, and they bear the body cavity. That body cavity is Coelenteron. So the presence of Coelenteron cavity, the name given to that group Coelenterata. Yes. Who coined the term? Who proposed the word? Leucart. So the term Coelenterata was coined by Leucart. That is the reason why the name Coelenterata is given to that group. So that previously Coelenterata, now it is turned as a recent name, that is Nidaria. So Nidaria, Nidaria, Coelenterates possess, they bear stinging cells. This is a simple word. general word, but it is technically, these cells are called nidoblast cells or nidocytes. Nidocytes are stinging cells. Stinging cells. So the presence of nidocytes, the presence of nidoblast cells, the name given to that group, Nidaria. The presence of nidoblast cells. Yes. One more, another small or minor phylum is also there. We go for that after completion of the phylum Nidaria. That minor phylum is the Ctenophora. Just you remember here a small clarification for you. Coelenterates, all are coelenterates, but the 70% of the coelenterates, they possess nidoblast cells. The animals, the coelenterates with nidoblast cells, they belongs to the phylum Nidaria. The coelenterates without nidoblast cells, they are called as ctenophores. So, Nidarians as well as ctenophores, these two belongs to what? Coelenterates. There are both are coelenterates, but the small difference is the coelenterates with nidocytes, they are Nidarians. That is the major phylum. Nidaria is the major phylum. The coelenterates without nidoblast cells, they are ctenophores. Okay. So here the term Nidaria was coined by Barnes. The term Porifera by R.E. Grant. The term Coelenterata by Leucott. The term Nidaria by Barnes. Right. Now coming to their nature and habitat. Nature and habitat. Yes. So first of all, we go for habitat. They are aquatic animals. Aquatic means they live in water. So aquatic medium was classified into 3 types. We know well, yesterday or before that day, we discussed that point. Aquatic medium is classified into freshwater, marine as well as brackish. But here the Nidarians, they live in both marine as well as freshwater. The freshwater animal is only Hydra. Hydra. Yesterday we discussed about Spongilla. Spongilla is the freshwater sponge. But the Hydra is a freshwater polyp. Other than Hydra, remaining all are marine. All are marine. So, they're aquatic, right. Both marine medium as well as freshwater. And so there some are colonial and some are solitary. Yes. Here these are the 2 technical terms. What is their meaning? Solitary, they live alone. They can live alone, lonely. But some are colonial. Colonial, they live together. They live with each other. They forms a colony. They forms a colony. That's why they are called colonial. They may be solitary or colonial. Then, so nature. So coming to the nature, these are the first diploblastic animals. This is very, very, very important regarding entrance examination. Diploblastic animals. The first diploblastic phylum, Nidaria. What is the meaning of the word diploblastic? Simple. Diplo means 2. Blast, layers. So what are the 2 layers? Right? So their body wall possess the outer ectoderm, inner endoderm. outer ectoderm, inner endoderm. So these two layers are present on their body wall. That's why the Nidarians are the diploblastic animals. So yesterday we discussed about the sponge's body wall. But in a body wall of a sponge, outer is pinacoderm, inner is coenoderm. But they are not the diploblastic animals. These are the true diploblastic animals. What is the reason? Yes, I'll give clarification. These two layers, outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, these two layers are formed from the embryonic development. They are formed from, they are derived from during the embryonic stage, embryonic development. But in sponges, outer pinacoderm, that simply it is formed by pinacocytes. If the pinacocytes are damaged, there is no formation of pinacoderm. If the coenocytes are damaged, there is no formation of coenoderm, because they are formed by the arrangement of the cells. They are formed by the cells, but not like here. The outer ectoderm and inner endoderm, these are formed from the embryonic stage, embryonic development, during the embryonic stage. That's why Nidarians are the diploblastic animals, right? So between the outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, mesoglea was present. Mesoglea. Just you remember here, the three terms are there. In sponges, between the two layers, mesohyle, that is a gelatinous matrix. In Nidarians, between the ectoderm and endoderm, mesoglea. The next phylum, the first triploblastic phylum is the Platyhelminthes. Between the ectoderm and endoderm, mesoderm is there. Just three terms, they starts with a prefix meso. Prefix meso. In sponges, mesohyle. In Nidarians, mesoglea. In Platyhelminths onwards, because Platyhelminths onwards, they all are triploblastic animals. The third genital is formed, that is mesoderm. Right. So that is about the body wall and regarding diploblastic nature. Then one more very important point, their organization. Yesterday we discussed, because here I am giving the comparative way of the teaching, comparative way. In the porifera, what type of is there? In Nidaria, what type? The next phylum, what type? So that's why here the level of organization is tissue level of organization. Tissue level. Tissue level. This is a somewhat advanced stage than the cellular level. In sponges, yesterday's class, in sponges, we studied about the cellular level of organization. Only their body organization is up to cell level, But here, somewhat advancement, the formation of tissues. See here, first time in Nidarians, diploblastic nature is appeared. Diploblastic nature. First time tissues are appeared. Tissues. So what is the reason? The formation of tissues in Nidarians. What is the reason? Simple thing. Sponges are multicellular. Nidarians also multicellular. But the difference is, although sponges are multicellular without formation of tissues, in Nidarians, these are also multicellular, but the first time the tissues are appeared. Reason is simple thing. First time nerve cells and sensory cells are appeared. First time the tissues are appeared in the phylum Nidaria. The reason for the formation of tissues, nerve cells are appeared and sensory cells are appeared. So the presence of nerve cells and sensory cells, they coordinate the cells to form tissues. That's why the Nidarians exhibit tissue level of organization. Tissue level of organization. In sponges, cellular level only. So in those, nerve cells, sensory cells are absent. First time in Nidarians, nerve cells and sensory cells are appeared. These two cells will coordinate all the cells to form tissues. Right. Now coming to the body cavity. Body cavity. So yesterday we discussed about the body cavity of sponges, that is sphingocele. That's not a true body cavity. That's not a true coelom. Here it is also same way. The body cavity is called coelenteron. The body cavity is what? Coelenteron. The coelenteron is also called as gastrovascular cavity. Coelenteron or gastrovascular cavity, that is the body cavity. So in Nidarians, that coelenteron cavity or gastrovascular cavity serves two functions. What are those two functions? One, it helps in digestion and also for circulation. Serves both functions, digestion and circulation. That is about the body cavity. Here one very important point regarding digestive system. Digestive system. So yesterday in sponges we discussed only intracellular digestion. Intracellular digestion. The digestion takes place inside the cell, that is in choanocytes. Here in Nidarians, the two types of digestion, intracellular digestion and extracellular digestion. This is one important point regarding NEET examination. The extracellular digestion that takes place in gastrovascular cavity. Extracellular, that means outside the cell. Outside the cell. Extra means outside. Extracellular, that is in a cavity. Which cavity present in Nidarians? Coelenteron cavity. It is otherwise called gastrovascular cavity. Right. So very important aspect, intracellular digestion in Nidarians that takes place in nutritive muscular cells. Nutritive muscular cells of endoderm. You remember here, you concentrate endoderm, not these cells. The nutritive muscular cells present in endoderm. Remember, not in ectoderm, in endoderm. Nutritive muscular cells of endoderm. Endoderm. So that's very important point regarding digestive system. So coming to nervous system. Yeah. So first time, here I am writing what are the first appeared in the phylum Nidaria. First time nervous system is appeared in Nidarians, but it is a primitive type. The nervous system is the most primitive type, that is in the form of a diffused nerve net. Diffused nerve net. Simple. Diffused nerve net means here it is the nerve cell. So I'll give one more nerve cell like this. So these are nerve fibers. These are nerve fibers. So one nerve fiber is connected to other, that forms a net-like structure, that is diffusion type, diffused nerve net. Yes. So first time nerve system is appeared na. First time sensory cells are appeared na. Some sensory structures are also present. So what are those sensory structures? Statocysts. Statocysts, they are appeared in medusa form. This is one of the sexual form in Nidarians. Right. Now coming to special character, since in Nidarians, very important character, they exhibit metagenesis. Why? Because I am focusing here the prefix word meta. So metastasis, metagenesis, metamorphosis, metamerism. There are 4 technical terms are there. Metastasis, the word related to cancer, metastasis. Metamerism, the word related to phylum Annelida, simple word segmentation. The body is divided into many ring-like structures. That is what segmentation. That simple word is technically called as metamerism. Then metamorphosis, the word related to reproductive system. So the development of the larval stage into, that is a grown-up stage, development of larva into adult, that is metamorphosis. But here it is metagenesis. This is a technical term. Metagenesis, we can say it simply, it is alternation of generations. So what is the meaning of the word metagenesis or alternation of generations? Simple thing. These are diploblastic animals now and also dimorphic. So we won't say the word. So they life history, they exist in 2 forms. One is in polyp stage, other one is in medusa stage. Polyp and medusa. Polyp is the asexual stage, medusa is the sexual stage. So this polyp can produce medusa by asexually. So by asexual method, the polyp gives rise to medusa, right? Now by sexual method, the medusa gives rise to polyp. That means in their life history, these 2 stages, polyp and medusa, these 2 stages comes alternatively. That's why the word alternation of generations. Here it is a asexual generation, this is a sexual generation. These 2 comes alternatively. That's why it is alternation of generations. That is simple word. The technical word is metagenesis. It's a very important regarding entrance examination. Yes, one more special character, that's important character. Some Nidarians, they forms corals. Yeah, very important technical term. It is, they forms corals. What is meant by coral? What are the coral animals? Coral, simple thing. Not all the Nidarians forms the corals. Only the members of the class Anthozoa. The phylum Nidaria was classified into 3 classes: Hydrozoa, Scyphozoa, Anthozoa. The Anthozoans forms corals, right? Now what is meant by coral? What are the coral animals? Simple. Their body is covered by exoskeleton. That exoskeleton is in the form of calcium carbonate. Their body is covered by calcium carbonated exoskeleton. That's why those animals are called coral animals. That's very important point. Now coming to digestive system. Reproductive system. Digestive system we have completed already. Now coming to reproductive system. See, these are bisexual animals, right? Then they reproduce in both ways. They can reproduce both ways. Just now we discussed here asexual and sexual. So they reproduce asexually. That asexual reproduction is by fragmentation and budding. Fragmentation and budding. And they also reproduce sexually. Sexually. Here one technical word is there, syngamy. Syngamy. So what is the meaning of the word syngamy? The sexual reproduction in Nidarians by syngamy. What is the meaning of the word syngamy? Simple. The fusion of gametes. The fusion of gametes. That is what? Syngamy. So what is syngamy? The fusion of gametes. That is called syngamy. Right. Now coming to development. Development. So the development is indirect. Yes, you know already in sponges group, porifera group, indirect development means the presence of larval stages, larval form, intermediate stage. So in Nidarians, the common ciliated larval form, that is planula. One larval form you can ask in entrance examination compulsory. That's why you remember all the larval forms from the phylum Porifera to Echinodermata. Here in Nidarians, the development is indirect. The larval form is planula. It is the common, very important here. Planula is the common ciliated larval form. Common ciliated larval form. Why? Because there are 2 or 3 other larval forms are also there, but they are specific to one class. But this is the common Scyphistoma, that's the Ephyra. There are other larval forms are there, but the common larval form is the ciliated larval form is the planula. That's these are the characteristic features of the phylum Nidaria. Now coming to examples. Examples are also very, very important. Last 3 examples are there. Last 1 minute. Here examples. Very important example. Physalia. This is a scientific name. It is commonly called as Portuguese man of war. Physalia, very, very, very important example. Common name is Portuguese man of war. What is its speciality? One speciality is there. That speciality was asked many more times in previous examinations. That is the only Nidarian. This is the only Nidarian. It exhibits polymorphism. Very, very important point. Right. So one more example. Pennatula. Pennatula. It is commonly called as sea pen. These are all sea animals. So see here, Pennatula. Gorgonia. Sea fan. Sea fan. Here it is a sea pen. Pennatula. Pennatula. Pen. Pen. Sea pen is its common name. Gorgonia. Sea fan. Obelia. Obelia. Sea fur. Obelia. Sea fur. Then very, very, very important example. Aurelia. Aurelia. It is a jellyfish. Jellyfish. This is not a true fish. It is a pseudo fish. Pseudo. Pseudo means false. Pseudo fishes. False fishes. These are not true fishes. Jellyfish. Very, very important example. Aurelia and also Rhizostoma. These are 2 commonly called as jellyfishes. And one more very important example. Adamsia. Adamsia. Sea anemone. Sea anemone. Adamsia. Sea anemone. Here it is one speciality for sea anemone. This is the only Nidarian. it exhibits biradial symmetry. Remaining all are exhibit radial symmetry. The sea anemone exhibit biradial symmetry. So, regarding examples, you must learn and remember compulsory. Aurelia, it is a commonly called a jellyfish. It is not a true fish. It is a pseudo fish or false fish. Adamsia, common name sea anemone. What is its speciality? It exhibits biradial symmetry. And Physalia, what is its speciality? It is the only Nidarian exhibit polymorphism. Right, students? Next, the time up. Tomorrow we are going to take the another phylum, Ctenophora, platyhelminthes. So, next tomorrow we will continue our class, right.